Hello guys, this is Magical Lady Duchess, and this is a video I am doing on Wicca. Let me do a quick disclaimer. This is just strictly about Wicca, not necessarily about witchcraft. There are different types of Wiccans, and I will discuss them as well. There are 6 major broad types of Wicca. Wicca is not witchcraft. This is a different thing. So I just want to give you guys a disclaimer on this video. Again, Wicca is not necessarily, anybody who chooses to be a Wiccan does not necessarily choose to be a witch. And they don't practice witchcraft. Okay? So here goes. What is Wicca? Wicca is a neo-pagan religion that has been growing in popularity and in the acceptance of the United States and Europe. There are many websites and books claiming to teach the real Wicca, but the truth is there is no consensus among Wiccans as to what the religion is all about. Wicca is a religion. Witchcraft is a practice. Let's just get that out. Okay? For that reason, Wicca as it stands, it's only probably about 50 or so years old. And I'm sure that if I'm not correct, some of you guys will correct me. Wicca is a belief system. It's a belief system that they study and practice the religion of nature, so to speak. Wicca is about the nature. It's about the trees and it's like the deep appreciation for those who choose to want to live a peaceful, harmonious, and balanced way of life. It also promotes like a oneness with the divine and everything that exists by the universal father or mother, duality of both. Okay. Wicca is a deep appreciation of watching the sunset, watching the full moon, the forest and the light of a glowing moon. It's the morning dew that's on top of a rose petal. It is a gentle caress of a summer breeze. It's the wind blowing. It's feeling connected to the earth. Wicca is about the fall of the colors of the autumn leaves. It's the softness. It's light and shadow and everything that lies in between. Wicca is the presence of the Mother Earth and the nature and being humbled in their reverence of such. When we are thinking about Wicca, you think about the Lord and the Lady. Wicca is a belief system. It's a way of life based upon the reconstruction of pre-Christian traditions. Again, it's not necessarily witchcraft. Witchcraft is something totally different. Wicca is a earth-based religion. That's the nature of what Wicca is. There are literally 6 types of Wicca. You have the Gardnerian, Gardnerian Wicca. And this is based off of Gardner, Gerald B. Gardner. He is the grandfather of what they called, at the very least, the Neo-Wicca. He initiated a coven of witches in the New Forest region in England in 1939. He also wrote a novel, The High Magic Aid. And it was about medieval witchcraft. Yeah. It's both tradition and a family and a lineage of a family tree The high priestess kind of rules the coven, and the principles of love and trust preside. They also follow a handed-down book from others, but they do improvise and they preserve the original. They also work in sky-clad, and that means naked. They practice binding, and they are kind of controversial in that aspect. They also believe in like reincarnation, and they also believe in the Wiccan Rede as well. And it harm no one, do will as basic tenets of the tradition. Covens are as much as possible like they're composed of both male and female balance, and they work with the energy raised by the interaction of the Lord and Lady, as represented by couples in the coven by dancing and chanting. They also have 3 degrees, and the 3rd degree, she can become a high priestess. The next one is, they call it the Alexandrian Wicca, and as most everyone now is aware that the Alexandrian tradition is kind of close to the Gardnerian tradition with a few minor changes, and one of them being that they use they use a symbol of fire, and they use the symbol of the wand for air. And most of their rituals are very formal and heavily indebted to ceremonial magic. Also, the sexuality of the male and female polarity is emphasized in this particular form of Wicca. And the ritual cycle deals mostly with the division of the year between the Holly King and the Oak King, and several ritual dramas deal with the dying and resurrection of the god theme. The high priestess is also a part of the highest authority. The Alexandrian Wicca is a creation from Alexander's, and they claim to be initiated by his grandmother, him and his wife, and it's the principal proponents. It's more, I guess, more eclectic and liberal. They also, no, I think, if I'm not mistaken, they also do ritual nudity too. I'm sure someone will correct me if I'm wrong. Also, they have the Dianic Wicca, and that's Dianic Wicca. And the Dianic craft, it includes 2 distinct branches. I'm trying to stay with my notes. One branch was founded in Texas, believe it or not. And they honor the horn god. The covens are mixed with both men and women, and the branch is sometimes called the Old Dianic. And there are still covens in this tradition, especially in Texas. Other covens, similar in theology but not directly descended from the McFarland-Roberts line, is kind of sprinkled around the country. The second branch of the Dianic Wicca is sometimes called the feminist Dianic Witchcraft, and they focus exclusively on the goddess and consist of women-only covens and groups. Mine is kind of like the Dianic Wicca a little bit because we only have women, but I kind of changing that a little bit. I don't know, but anyway, these tend to be loosely structured. They do a lot of non-hierarchy type of workings. They normally have a consensus for decision making, rituals, and things as such. They are politically feminist groups. They usually very supportive, personally, emotional, intimately. There's a strong lesbian presence in this movement. Wait, I don't think that's my shit. We don't have any openly lesbians in our group. But anyway, though most covens are open to women of all orientations, the major network is the Reformed Congregation of the Goddess, which publishes of a like mind, and is and it's sponsored by the Dianic Craft. So this one, more than likely, is this is a different one, but yet interestingly enough, I'm outside too, y'all. So the next one is a Celtic Wicca, and they also call it the Church of Wicca. And the Church of Wicca was founded by Gavin and Yvonne Frost, and they offer corresponding courses too on their brand of Wicca. And the Celtic Wicca, they have a goddess in their deity structure, and they also call themselves the Baptist Wicca. So that's just some more stuff for you guys to kind of research and stuff. What I will say about them is that they're more open than most Wicca groups. They've actually had like a lot of publications, including the Inquirer as well. The Frost called their tradition of Wicca Celtic. To me, it seems to be kind of like a mixture of high magic and eclectic Wicca, with a Celtic type of thing thrown in. For instance, they use 3 circles, one within each other, made of salt, sulfur, and herbs, with runes and symbols between them instead of just one circle. They also have a white handled what did I write? Oh my god. Okay, they also use a lot of symbolisms as well as far as the altar goes. They use white things and black things. That color is very important to that particular group. The next one is the Georgian Wicca, which is Georgian Wicca. And if one word could be best described as the Georgian tradition, it would be eclectic. Even though the material provided to students was nominally Alexandrian, there was never a imperative to follow the path blindly. George Patterson, the tradition's founder, always said, if it works, use it. If it doesn't, don't. Let's see. That's like the only thing about the Georgian Wicca that I know, that it was founded by him. So you guys might want to do a little further research on that. And then last but not least, it's called the Discordianism. Discordianism. And it's a movement described as a non-profit, irreligious disorganization. It has claimed that I don't know, like humor is kind of central to this, but don't dismiss it as a joke. They believe in being more, I guess, funny or a comedian type. I don't know, but them are like the 6 Wiccas that most people practice. Most Wiccans also believe in the threefold law. And the threefold law says that you harm you none. They have a Wiccan read where you can read that, and it just says that you don't harm anybody no matter what. That's what Wiccans believe. And there are a lot of people who say that they're Wiccan, but they do things to harm people, and it kind of goes against what Wicca is. So be kind of careful with that aspect of it, because that's not what Wicca is. And let me say this again. Wicca is a belief system. It's a way of life. Okay? And with that being said, it does not necessarily mean that if a person is Wicca or they are a pagan, that they practice witchcraft. That is not what that is. And what I will say about witchcraft on this Wicca video is that witchcraft is also like a spiritual system too, and it kind of fosters the free thought and will of the individual. It encourages learning and understanding of the earth, which I can see why a lot of people would think that that's being a Wiccan. One thing I will say is that witchcraft does teach responsibility. You know, we accept responsibility for our actions and our deeds clearly as a result of the choices that we make. We don't blame other people. We don't do that, and that's in any given pagan teaching. Most Christians, they have the devil to blame stuff on. Most witches and Wiccas do not. Okay. Um, I think like that is pretty much um, what Wicca is. Wicca is basically a religion that is about minding your own business and living peacefully with your neighbors and environment. Wiccans are eagerly drawn. They eagerly draw parallels between themselves and the earth. You won't find the word Wicca in the Bible, okay? But you will find witchcraft. So again, let me focus on it. Again, Wicca is not witchcraft, but there are many Wiccans that do practice witchcraft. They're two different things. So this is just a beginning video on Wicca, the various types of Wiccas. Um, Also, like the Wiccan Read, you can look that up. I don't have it with me, um, but I will tell you that. And I will say too, Wicca is not a cult. It's not a cult. And all Wiccans are people that practice witchcraft, do not worship Satan and do not consort with demons. So I need to put that out there. Most Wiccans do not believe in a heaven and hell. They believe that you create heaven and hell here on earth. That is what this is based off of. They believe on being harmonious. They believe being one with nature. Um, Again, the law of three. And it simply states, like, whatever we send out into the world shall return to us threefold, either good or bane. They don't say the word bad, B-A-D. They say the word bane, B-A-N-E. Okay? So with that in mind, with being a Wicca, they would hesitate doing any magic that's going to harm or manipulate anyone because they believe in a boomerang effect. There are Wiccans that practice witchcraft with the same degree. Okay? So this is just a little a video on Wicca. The heart of Wicca is not something summed up with a few short words, and it can take on different meanings, especially since the Lord and Lady touch us in different ways. To gain a fuller understanding of the craft, I urge you to read, research, get into straight Wicca groups, not witchcraft groups, but Wicca groups, so that your wisdom and words can set down into your spirit and you're getting that inner voice that tells you you're doing the right thing. And remember to read everything with your heart, for it is when you see life and in the world in your heart and the spirit that you truly gain an understanding of what Wicca is. Blessed be to you guys. This is just my short video, well, long video on what is Wicca, okay? So blessed be to you guys. You can find me on my website at www.magicalladyduchess.com, and it's MAGICKAL, ladyduchess.com. You can also email me as well at magicalladyduchess@gmail.com. I do have a Facebook group. It's called Infinite Energy. You can look that up, and it's actually Infinite Energy, and then it has Lady Duchess in parentheses. This has been a very long, short video on what is Wicca. This is kind of like an introduction. So if you have any questions, concerns, comments, please put them down there. Kind of prohibit yourself on posting negative stuff because I didn't mean this in a negative way. There are a lot of misconceptions that honestly I really try to clear up when it comes to what Wicca is, what being a pagan is, what witchcraft is, and everything else. So this is my video on that, and blessed be to you guys. Bye.